What is up? Welcome to the pod. Today we are going to be chatting about something that doesn't get a whole lot of airplay when it comes to fat loss, behavior change, and lifestyle modification. However, it is something that I delve into with my one-on-one coaching clients quite often, and it is how to deal with unsupportive friends and or family. Because let's be honest, losing fat and changing your habits can be difficult. And if you have friends and or family that are unsupportive or potentially even seemingly sabotaging you, it doesn't make it any easier. And so I want to delve further into some of the ins and outs in regards to this, as well as how you can handle hard situations and even conversations. Friends and family members generally fall into one of three categories: supportive, neutral, and unsupportive. Let's get more specific and break down all three. First up, let's cover the supportive person. You tell this individual that you want to lose fat and get healthier, and they are in your corner, meaning they truly want what's best for you, and they're going to do whatever they can to help you win. Plain and simple. This person is super encouraging, but also honest. And so they don't just blow smoke up your ass and tell you that you're getting results when you're not. They support you and want what's truly best for you. And that means that they tell you the truth. They may even be happy to modify their own eating patterns when they're with you, just to make reaching your goals easier and to reduce temptation for you. So maybe you're at a restaurant and you typically split a pizza, a pasta, and a bottle of wine. However, they're happy to split the steak and salmon, let's say. They may volunteer to go for walks or workouts with you. They may send you encouraging texts and really celebrate all of your wins, no matter how big or small. This is the ideal scenario, and chances are that someone this supportive is going to be a partner or a spouse. But it doesn't have to be. It could be a parent, a sibling, a cousin, or a good friend. The neutral person also wants you to win. However, they're not really going out of their way to change anything. For example, if you two are going out to eat and you typically split the pizza, pasta, and a bottle of wine, they're going to let you order your meal and they're going to go for what they'd typically have. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this because everyone makes their own choices, and just because you are choosing to eat more healthfully doesn't mean that others need to modify their behavior in order to cater to you. Will there be more temptation in a scenario like this? A little, but nothing major. Okay, now we're at the unsupportive individual. This person is not just neutral, they are actively unsupportive. This is an unfortunate one, but again, it is a reality that a lot of folks often contend with. If you two are eating out and usually split a pizza, a pasta, and a bottle of wine, not only is this person unhappy that you're unwilling to order what you typically do, they are actively trying to convince you to go contrary to your goals. They may say things like, "Oh, come on, you only live once." YOLO, right? The whole YOLO concept is a funny one because you can think about it two completely different ways. Typically, it's used in the context of justifying unhealthful or potentially irresponsible actions, but you can easily flip the coin and look at it to justify healthy and responsible actions too. For example, let's say that you're choosing to order the steak or salmon and your friend says, "Oh, come on, life's too short. You only live once. Let's get the pizza, pasta, and wine." You could be like, "Exactly. You only live once. Life is short. And so I want to make the absolute most of it. And therefore, I'm going to order something that not only moves me closer to my goals and the life that I want, but also just makes me feel better, i.e., life is too short not to feel good." Now, I want to be clear. I am not making a case for never eating pizza or pasta or drinking wine or having dessert. I do all of these things, and so do my clients. I'm just pointing out that the whole YOLO thing can be viewed from two completely contrary ends of the spectrum, depending on what perspective that you choose to take. The unsupportive person might even be more obvious in their sabotage. For example, they may do super inconsiderate things like simply order the pizza, pasta, and wine while you're in the bathroom, let's say, or insist on ordering a bunch of drinks to the table or giving you an especially hard time. If you're with other folks, it may get even more insidious in terms of them making fun of you for following through on your goals or spinning the situation and positioning it as if you think that you're somehow superior to them or your group of friends for bettering yourself. Perhaps you've had fat loss and health goals in the past, and they may remind you of times when it didn't work out and how they think that this time isn't going to be any different. This unsupportive type can show up in 1,000,001 different ways, and it varies in intensity. But I want to be incredibly clear about something. It is never personal, even if it feels that way. For example, the unsupportive person isn't being unsupportive because they want you to fail just because they want you to fail. That is not the case. The only reason that they're being unsupportive is because of how your lifestyle change impacts them. They want to split the pizza, pasta, and wine, and deciding to flip the script inconveniences their life in a way that they don't want. And that's why it appears as if they're personally sabotaging you. It's all about them and what they want. It's not about you and what you want. They want you to drink a bunch of alcohol because they want a drinking buddy. And if you're open about how too much alcohol is impacting your life in a negative way, let's say, that may even have them question whether they may want to think about reducing their booze consumption. And if they don't want to feel what that question brings up for them emotionally, goddamn right they're going to try and convince you to drink with them. Maybe they have some real pain that larger amounts of alcohol and funky food helps them keep at bay, at least temporarily. The truth is, their priority is them. It's not sabotaging you just for shits and giggles. I used to take a lot of things super personally, and when I realized that nothing is ever personal and folks are just doing the best that they know how, it was so freeing. No one is out to actively hurt me just to hurt me. They're too busy protecting their own hurts. Point being, don't take it personal. Now, if an unsupportive person happens to be a family member, that is tough because family is permanent. But someone might say, well, why don't you just find new friends? And this is a very tricky one for a few reasons, but the primary one is evolutionary in nature. Humans are extremely social animals. We live, thrive, and cooperate in groups. And the reason for that is because it increases survival odds. It's been this way for hundreds of thousands of years as humans, and millions of years if we go back further than that in our evolutionary history. If for some reason or another you left or were excommunicated from your tribe, say 500 years ago, that almost certainly meant death. Why? We're not designed to do it all on our own. Some people hunt, others forage. Some folks are responsible for shelter and others for water or finding various natural remedies and medicines and child rearing, etc. Meaning, we have extremely strong inclinations to develop close connections and ties to one another. And so if those ties are severed, we feel as if we are dying. Think about high school. Everyone at some point in their teens felt left out from their friend group in one way or another, and it is legitimately traumatic. There are plenty of people that experience similar things well into their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and up. And so point being, changing your friend group can be really, really painful. And it requires essentially battling up against this strong evolutionary mechanism that's in place. Now, this doesn't mean that it's not possible. It's just very difficult. And so instead of cutting off your family and never seeing them again or ditching your friend group completely, I would recommend the following. Clear communication. For example, with an unsupportive friend, family member, or partner, tell them just how important getting your health in check is and how much you would appreciate either their support or at the very least being neutral about your goals, i.e., not actively sabotaging you. And chances are that if you communicate clearly and openly, they will most likely come around. It's really important that you provide them with the opportunity to adjust, because if you just tell yourself that they're going to respond poorly or they're going to make fun of you or whatever, one, that could just be you making up a story in order to avoid a difficult and uncomfortable conversation. And two, you're not offering them the opportunity to change. Now, let's say that you have an open and honest convo with them and they still continue to behave in an actively unsupportive way. In this case, it may just be time to either take a little break and or create some distance from this person, because at this point, if you continue to have the same relationship with this individual, you are actively telling them that their behavior is a-okay, and you've then got to own that, because relationships are two-way streets, and they're only relationships if both people choose to engage. We teach people how to treat us by what we choose to accept and not accept. And so it's crucial to take ownership of that. Personally, I've distanced myself from a few extremely close friends and family members in my life for one reason or another, and it's been hard. It's been really painful. It's been lonely at times, and I've missed them so much. However, one, it doesn't have to be forever. I'm open to rekindling some of those relationships again in the future, and it's also absolutely fine if you have folks that you're just done with, by the way, and don't see a future together. Nothing wrong with that. And two, I take ownership of the fact that I'm making these choices, meaning you can choose to walk away as well. Now, there is a pretty big pull to be like, oh, Marcus, but it's not that easy and you don't understand. We're family, or we've been close friends for 20 plus years, or insert explanation here. And the thing is, you're right. It isn't easy. I know from personal experience, and it very well may be messy and painful and hard, and you still have a choice. If you're interested in applying for one-on-one nutritional coaching and or workout design with me, you can click the link in the description below or head on over to n1fitness.com/coaching. Feel free to follow me on Instagram at N1Fitness, on TikTok at the N1Fitness, and on YouTube at marcusadu/N1Fitness. If you'd like to stay up to date on the newest podcast episode releases, you can hit the subscribe button. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that you found this episode useful, and I will catch you on the next one. See ya.